like and subscribe. What rules were put in place because of you? As a kindergartner, I once fell asleep in the bus. When I woke up, the bus was in the garage, and I had to yell to get someone to get me out. So to this day, every bus driver in my school district needs to walk to the back of the bus and check every seat before they park the bus. Seems like a good rule to have. One of my favorite childhood moments sometime in 3rd grade. I got watermelons banned from handball. Watermelons in our school were when you could duck under the ball in place of hitting the ball against the wall. Only your torso or head were allowed to go under the ball and count as a watermelon. My fine moment came when I made a diving leap headfirst on a low hit because I knew my opponent was too far away to recover. Unfortunately, I did it face first, and I slid along the gritty concrete and skinned half my face off. I had to wear a face bandage for at least a month. I made it. Everyone agreed it counted as a watermelon. I won that round and had to go to the nurse's office. 100% would do it again. The next day, watermelons were banned and everybody hated me while high-fiving me at the same time. My older brother got a curfew enforced at Boy Scout camp when one of the leaders noticed him walking around the area in the daytime with his eyes closed, counting steps. He may have just been practicing being blind, but the adults assumed he was figuring out how to get around at night without lights so he could get into some kind of mischief. Which, knowing my brother, was also possible. P.S. If you're one of those people saying but, you're not thinking like an 11-year-old. This sounds like some Calvin and Hobbes stuff. Minor one, but when I was in elementary school we had one of those bridge building challenges using toothpicks and hot glue. My partner and I realized, if we just coated the entire thing with a thick layer of hot glue it would make our bridge strong as hell. So we used like a full pack of hot glue sticks, like 20 of them. It was more glue than toothpicks. So after that they limited the number of glue sticks you could use. I mean, technically you demonstrated that when you combine materials together they often become stronger than they would have been apart. Like when you put a steel rod inside of concrete. You can no longer skip to the end of training videos at Wendy's. I completed about 10 hours of this training when it was implemented, after I'd already been working there a year, in about 45 minutes. Open, skip, 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 do test, rinse and repeat. I was quite proud of my estimated time 45 minutes, time to completion 2 minutes. My store, which is a franchise location, got a call from corporate like an hour later. I didn't have to redo any of it though. The company I work for, the videos are skippable. I always skip them when doing some stupid refresher training, or whatever. Nobody seems to notice. In history class in high school, there was about 10 of us really close friends. We would take every opportunity to make your mom jokes. A couple months into class the teacher made us sign a treaty promising to stop making fun of each other's moms. We signed it, and started making fun of each other's dads. Improvise. Adapt. Overcome. I got the Ryan's Steakhouse buffets in Louisville, Kentucky to put baby changing stations in the men's bathrooms back in the 90s. My mom got a library card at a new place many months before I did. When she got hers, she was welcome to check out however many books she wanted at a time. So she left with her shiny new card and 30 books for a project. When I got mine, those boots had still not been returned, and new card holders could only take out like 5 books at a time. She still has those books, so like I definitely don't blame the library. Back when Taco Bell had the spinny game where you could win food with a nickel, dime, or quarter. I could feed my whole friend group with $3s, because I could win that thing at a 90% clip by jiggling the spinner. Taco Bell then posted a piece of paper stating that individuals could only win once, and that no jiggling was allowed. I got our hour box taken away at work, because the hour lady threatened not to pay us if we missed a clock in or clock out. In our defense, the phones didn't always work, and the clock-in system was really unreliable, and I printed out the law stating that was illegal, highlighted it, and put it in her box when no one was around. She threw an unholy fit and tried to figure out who put it in her box, and from them on everything had to be handed in personally. Lol. She sounds like the worst kind of our person, honestly. Like she should darn well know that's illegal. At a ballpark I worked concessions at, they had an all-you-can-eat promo day, where tickets were more expensive than usual, but concessions around the stadium were free, excluding alcohol. So I worked that day, and of course it was chaos, but when the lines started dying down later in the game they started sending some of the hourly employees home, myself included. But of course, I didn't go home. After I clocked out, I stayed in the stadium and got some cheeseburgers and Philly steak and soda, and found an empty seat in the crowd for the last few innings. Next year, same promo, but new rule for staff: if you get sent home early, you have to actually leave the stadium. Boo-hoo. You work concessions, the one free day a year, you deserve it the most. I don't think it was a rule, but it was kind of an unspoken thing. I was the only brown kid in my school, and would act out for attention/acceptance, and my classmates would get a huge laugh out of it, but I would be sent to the principal's office every day. I think my principal knew I was not a bad kid just looking for attention. He moved a permanent desk into his office for me, and every day when I got sent down I would sit there. Had my name on it and everything. By the end of that school year I would pack snacks for both of us. Lol. Haven't thought about that principal in a while, but I hope he is well, and was patient with other kids as he was with me. Update: I tracked down what school Hela's currently working at, called to find out when Hela would get a free moment, and they said he makes time to speak to parents and students after school at 3:15. Going to wait in the office until Hela's free. Wish me luck, hopefully he remembers me. Update #2. I met with him today. He did not have time to speak to me directly after school went out, but I did wait until he had time a couple hours later. He remembered me very clearly, mentioned that he attended both mine and my baby sister's high school graduation. He was our elementary school principal, so it was sweet to know he went out of his way to keep up with all of his students. He then offered to buy me a hat. I forgot, but he confiscated one of my hats because I was wearing it in class. Lol. I am glad everyone encouraged me to reach out. It took me a while for this update, because I did not think I would be so moved by him remembering me. Golf users can no longer return an unlimited hash of balls for tokens. When I was maybe 12ish, there was a kids outdoor play area. Go-karts, batting cages, and indoor was something like a Chuck E. Cheese, token-based games, etc. You could get a wristband for maybe $15 and it'd get you unlimited rides, mini golf, and some other activities. Everything else cost tokens. When you finished golfing you get 2 tokens for bringing your ball back. Unlimited golf, $0. 50 worth of play value inside. So my friends and I would go there, speedrun 2 golf games, and give the balls back. $1 to our pockets. Later on we started just fishing balls out of the water hazards, and turning them in. Subtly at first and then in bulk later. The guys working there didn't care, or actively laughed at it. So we'd have a few hundred tokens. Then we started selling them 5 for $1. We stopped buying the unlimited bands. I'd bike there, and earn $25 in a couple of hours. Management eventually caught on, and altered the token for ball exchange. In middle school I would use Sharpist to tattoo myself. Other kids thought it was cool, so I started charging $1 per drawing wherever they wanted. Principal found out, and after I rolled no at stop, she put a ban on Sharpists for the entire school. Even the teachers called no at bring them in. I am a tattoo artist now. I bet you did a ton of that cool S-letter thing that every middle schooler is obsessed with drawing. Our company operates on Discord, and a lot of people just made it, so their personal Discord became their professional Discord, rather than making a second account. It made it easy for managers, including me, to invade the lives of their employees by pinging them when they saw a green light in Discord. I wrote a long email to the directors about the separation of work and home life, since we are a complete remote company. I suggested that we make it a rule for people to have a work Discord that they'll log out of at the end of the day so that any messages sent after hours can be dealt with the next day. Since we are a remote company, people are in many time zones, and I don't want to invade someone's evening or early morning when I'm in the midst of my workday. The directors agreed, and it became a thing. It is annoying to juggle 2 accounts, but it is better than people in different time zones being up in each other's all the time. What I would like to happen is that we use Slack instead, but everyone likes Discord. It's been made easier because you can be logged into 4 Discord accounts at once now on the desktop version. And then there's a little menu to swap between them. Male students are not allowed to wear hair accessories. We had the rule about hair not touching collars, couldn't be past eyebrows or over the ears. I grew my hair out and just put it up in headbands. After receiving multiple detentions and fighting them and winning, the next year, they made the rule. Although you could theoretically use just gel to form your hair into a beehive, or turn it into a bun, or braid it from the nape of your neck up to your forehead, and then back down the center. So many choices. My elementary school was located in the center of the neighborhood, and my 5th grade class was the first to get outdoor trailers for classrooms. We'd ask for bathroom passes, and then walk home. Next year they built a fence around the school. This is a keep it to yourself issue. You cannot let everyone know the get out of school free trick, because someone will notice if everyone is doing it. English media class in high school. End of year project was to film a movie. Me and 3 other guys decided to film a gangster movie. Long story short, while filming the final shootout scene behind a local post office, we were swarmed by police and almost got shot. One of the guys got arrested, and my teacher almost got fired. The following year, the curriculum was changed, and the final project was now an essay to be completed on a popular movie. Edit, I guess I'll add more details. We were filming a shootout scene behind the post office. What we did not know was that there was a retirement residence right next to it. Apparently several of the residents called 911 about a bunch of kids shooting each other outside. 5 police cruisers rolled up and surrounded us. They all jumped out with guns drawn. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. Get on the ground. We were all face down on the pavement with guns to our heads. A minimum. Later, one cop is like, "They're fake. They're all fake." The officers were upset. They ran our names and unfortunately, the one guy that had nothing to do with anything gets arrested. I felt so bad. He was not a part of the class. Just last second, we asked if he would help us film and he agreed. They take the rest of us back to school where when are sitting in the officers a police officer reams out our teacher and a principal. I almost shot a bunch of kids. How the are you allowing this to happen during school hours? What kind of project allows guns? Fun times. Edit 2. I have to be honest. The cops were at being that bad. I mean, they thought they were driving into a shootout. They did not know what to expect. As soon as they realized that the guns were fake, they let us up off the ground. We were even handcuffed. I have had several negative interactions with police, but this one was not one of them. They were just doing their job. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.